Alright, so my first takes on the first drive of my new to me S65 Amg. Thought I'd just do a quick vid just to kind of go over a couple of things that I see with the car, pros and cons, I guess. Maybe a little comparison to my E55. And right off the bat, I left out of the hotel. It was rainy, and it was miserable this morning. And my first thought, this thing is, it's got a lot of horsepower. I might be slipping and sliding and all that, but it's very, very mild mannered. Even with the Eurocharge tune that's on it. According to Chris, shout out to Chris, by the way. He's a good dude. Chris, East Coast Classics. Yes, thank you for my S65. So yeah. According to Chris, he said the car has a Eurocharge tune on it, and a downpipe, and I want to say that's probably about it. But he's pronouncing maybe like the car already makes 600, a little over 600 with the Eurocharge tune and the downpipe. We looking at 740-ish crank. And that's, like I said, that's per Chris, and it was never actually dyno tuned by him, as far as I know. But that video will come later. I'll find out exactly what the car has to the wheel, and if we need to fine tune it, we'll do so. But yeah, the pros and cons with the car. Let's start with the pros so far. The car is ultra smooth. Rides like a Mercedes. It's not like a bull in a china shop like I thought it could be. Very relaxed ride. I'm on cruise control right now, and the cruise control got the Distronic, so you follow the car in front of you, and your car slows down when they slow down, and your car speeds up when they speed up and or get out the way, so you can resume your rate of speed. And this is technology that's been out since the mid 2000s. That is such a plus in these days and times to have a radar guided cruise control, because we all know we can get preoccupied while driving, whether it's texting, eating, arguing, who knows, you just never know. And the car will slow down for you, so that you're not susceptible to a rear-ended somebody. So this is great on long distance trips when you think you might be toying around and tinkering with stuff, which I have been in this car. I've been still sorting this car out. I'll probably have to literally go on YouTube and look up a bunch of videos on the functions and such. Gas mileage. Of course, this being a V12 bi-turbo, this thing drinks gas. I just left the gas station for my second stop probably about 20 minutes ago, and maybe the needle's off, but it's already like I want to say about below an eighth, like a little bit above an eighth of tank. It looks like it's gone, but as long as you're not mashing it and trying to run down Hellcats and Chargers and such, it's actually pretty decent as far as gas mileage. My first fill up, I got about 300 miles before I actually pulled over for gas, and I had still a valid quarter tank left. So it's very mild mannered if you're not out here hot dogging it. as soon as you press the gas, all that goes out the window. So you got to be mindful of that. For a 2007, Mercedes really changed the game with the W221 chassis. This thing was well ahead of its time with all the bells and whistles. If anybody you know or yourself has an S550 that's at least a 2007 here in the States anyhow, or better, knows exactly what I'm talking about. The consensus is, if you want to see what the car market is doing today, look at what Mercedes-Benz did 10 years ago. And like I said, this car is a 2007. This car is 13 years old, and it is still relevant. This thing is chocked with all kinds of goodies and gadgets, bells and trinkets that really make for a valid, relevant, comfortable ride. So with that being said, that is a big plus, that you don't necessarily have to go broke on the the price of one of these things. Like one of these new is well over a couple $100,000. This model danced to right around $200,000 brand new. So depreciation is my friend, because that's my next pro, is that I didn't go broke buying this car. I paid $24,500. I'm not gonna make it no secret, no big no big deal. I paid $24,500 for this car, and per my nationwide search, that was about the going rate. I literally popped into Marketplace in every major region of the country to see what was the going rate for these, and I've seen them from look at my text going off. This is live. I'm not editing none of this. I'm gonna let this ride. I actually popped into every Marketplace major location to look at a potential seller, and I average mid-20s for an example like this. I've seen them all the way up for a W221 chassis, all the way up to mid-40s for like the fancier packages. There's such a thing, the Disenyo, and the Disenyo packages has the rear entertainment and the basically the TVs and the headrests and all that stuff. So those are they're going to require a little bit more money, and I get it, but for some TVs that I'm not going to look at, and some diamond checkered seats, and potentially a refrigerator I would never use, it just wasn't worth the extra $20,000 for a Disenyo packaged S65. So when it was all said and done, I stumbled upon Chris' example, and he had it listed, I don't know for how long, but we had been corresponding for since like early July, since like the first week of July. And I was pretty much ready to come get the car maybe about 2-3 weeks ago, but he wanted to make sure that the car was right, that I didn't have any outstanding issues or anything.
Keep left.
And so when it was all said and done, he had to fix a fan on it, and the fan pretty much had conked out, so that delayed us like another week, and then that brought us to this weekend, and that worked out.
In half a mile, keep left at the fork to stay on I-85 South.
I'm not changing nothing. I'm not editing nothing out. And we did everything that we could do prior to me coming out. I rented a car one way, drove out to him, and
keep left at the fork to stay on I-85 South.
did the deal, and I'll post that video later on my whole excursion, and it worked out. So I got exactly what I wanted, what I was looking for. It's a 13-year-old car. There's nothing perfect about it, but that's to be expected for not just this car, but any 13-year-old car. And I wanted to be able to actually fix something, change something, adjust a few things as need be. That would be, advantageous for entertainment here on the channel. And I do have some plans, trust and believe. So with that being said, let me jump into the cons, I guess. What cons do I have? I have a what do I have? Let me really think about that. What do I have that I don't like? I'm really thinking. I did so much homework that I kind of knew everything I was getting into. That one of my cons is that, as far as I know, the coil packs haven't been done, and that's a major deal on these. Is that the coil packs pretty much go around 100,000 miles, they say, give or take, plus or minus. So I need to factor that in my budget, that once these coil packs start acting up, that they will need to be swapped out. And for those who don't know, the coil packs on this car there's 2 coil packs, one per each bank of the cylinders, and they run all 6 cylinders per side. Those coil packs are laying on $1,000 a piece. So you looking at $2,000 plus or minus, plus labor. That's if I have somebody do it. And if I don't, I'm still looking at about $2,000 unless I find some stupid crazy deal somewhere. So, I'll deal hunt, but chances are I'm gonna be spending some money, if and when these go while I have this car. So with that being said, I've put that in my head that I'll be having to do something with the coil packs at some point if I start getting a miss or such. I don't know the history of the spark plugs or the other electrical components with the ignition system, but I do know if I'm in there to change the coil packs, more than likely spark plugs will be done as well, just because that's just a while I'm in there type of deal. Those might as well come out too. And for those who don't know, on a fair share of model AMGs from the earlier years, there's 2 spark plugs per cylinder. This car being a V12, it has 24 spark plugs. So you do the math at you have to replace all the spark plugs, and you put the good ones in, you're gonna spend a few dollars. So that's a pending con, I guess, having to change those coil packs when they do go. The next thing is just the overall maintenance. This car takes a lot of oil, and it takes good oil. So you put those 2 together, you're going to spend a few $100s on an oil change. Brakes, rotors. The rotors, on far as Chris said, has been done, and that's a good thing. That buys me some time. I shouldn't need rotors no time soon, but that frees up some money for them freaking coil packs. Pads, not sure about. I'm thinking that if he did the rotors, he might have did the pads too, which should be a good thing. Pretty much I might have to do a flush and other random stuff. I got a warning about a low coolant on the my startup. Like last night, I went out to the car just to do something, and I started up, and I got a low coolant, and I looked in the reservoir, and it didn't look low, but just to be on the safe side, I went and bought some coolant, and just poured a little bit in there, not much, just to make sure that it's not not necessarily low, and I'm driving around. Either way, that stuff is going to get flushed out when I go to actually get it, peaked over real good. And with that being said, hopefully it don't have a coolant leak or nothing like that. But that's pretty much all I can think of as far as any major cons with the car. I mean, it's a great car. If you own a W221, you already know, if you've had it for a while, what you're gonna go through, and if you haven't been through it already. But it's just a great platform. A regular S550, which this is based on the regular S550 for those who don't know. A regular S550, you could find a good example nowadays for 10, 15 grand for, a decent, well-equipped, luxury car. You don't have to go broke buying one. You might go broke on maintenance, but, you don't have to go broke buying one. And per the masses, the W221 chassis doesn't suffer from too many catastrophic things that could really put you in the poorhouse. Like I said, the coil packs, and there's a few other small things here and there, but engine and transmission, this is one of those better engine transmission packages for this car. The M275 has been around forever, and it's that V12 has been in a few different models, several different models, and pretty much has remained virtually untouched for a long time. A few tweaks here and there, to change some stuff, but for the most part, you could drive this thing and pretty much enjoy life and don't have to worry about, will it start up in the morning, will it be knocking, or what have you. It would do you good to let your turbos cool off. If you're coming in from, out ripping and running, it would do you some good to let turbos cool off. But that's just with any turbo car. You want to let your turbos or turbo cool off, depending on how many you got. And other than that, that the M275 is a great platform. It's on a 5-speed transmission, which they've updated. It went to a 7-speed here recently, but they put it on a 5-speed transmission because it's the transmission is, they just needed something that could handle all the torque. This car came with stock 738 foot-pounds of torque. That is enough to spin the earth in reverse. That's just ridiculous for the amount of torque this car has, which is a good thing because you need enough to get this big boat moving. This car is about 5,000 pounds wet, I believe. There's a few more with me in it, but we ain't gonna get into that. But it gets up. I haven't really, played with it. But from what I have done, it will definitely push you to the back of the seat. It's definitely an animal. My E55 is an animal, but this is just different. You just have to drive a V12 to understand it. And it's a different type of animal. Don't rev high. The TAC maxes out six grand for red line, but it will really pull your sockets back. It's crazy. It's crazy. But like I said, I haven't really drove it. I'll get to that down the line, after I really, kind of go through it a little bit. But otherwise, I'm happy. I'm very happy with my purchase. It's an investment in my happiness, peace of mind. If I want to get on the road and go cross country, I could do that with this and not think twice about it. If I want to take it to some half-mile runs, once the world opened back up, I could see myself doing it with this car. So I kind of got the best of both worlds. I got an animal, and I got a gentleman's car, all in one. So with that being said, that's all I got for right now. I will be posting the other video later on of me kind of going through my trials and tribulations of getting here, getting to Delaware to actually pick up the car. And that's that. You guys take care.